Hi there, Claire Kennedy here, and I know it's been a few weeks since my last video, but the truth is I've just not really been in the studio that much lately. Sometimes that happens. It could be, other aspects of work taking over your time, or family commitments, or anything really, and then you realise that you haven't picked up a paintbrush for a month or 2 months even. But the problem is sometimes to get back into it, sometimes a sort of creative block sort of sets in and a bit of procrastination, which doesn't feel good. So how do we get through that block and rediscover our creative selves? Well, the best way is just to get the paints out and have a play, but I think that's actually easier said than done in a lot of cases, because as adults we're very sort of programmed to be quite results focused, and for some of us it's quite difficult to recapture that sort of pure joy and sort of natural curiosity that a young kid feels when they're just splashing paint about and making a mess and not thinking about what the result is or the outcome. So if you find that quite difficult, sometimes giving yourself a time restraint can help. So if you're experiencing a bit of a block at the moment and you want to get back into painting and loosen up a little bit, then you could try what I'm going to do now. Put on your favourite album or podcast. So I'm going to listen to a podcast, and I've already checked, it's 42 minutes long. So for that time, I'm going to allow myself just to throw paint about, try new tools out. I'm not going to even give a millisecond's thought to the final outcome. It's probably going to be painted over anyway. And just basically for 42 minutes, I'm going to try and find my inner 3-year-old. Well, that's 42 minutes past. My podcast is finished. To be honest, I didn't really start to enjoy myself till about 20 minutes in or something like that. I felt quite sort of stilted to begin with. I suppose it's just like the muscles sort of warming up. But for the last quarter of an hour or so, I did start to enter that sort of flow state, quite meditative, of layering paint, adding, subtracting, lifting paint off. And it started to feel relaxing and enjoyable. I used a few things that I had lying around the studio, like these packing chips for printing. I also tried this for the first time. These are watercolour pencils, which are quite nice for dragging through wet paint because the pigment from the pencil kind of mixes with the paint and you get some sort of unexpected results. So it's just started to reawaken that excitement about the possibilities of paint, which I hadn't felt for a few weeks. Anyway, I'm sort of quite itching to put a glaze on this before I put it away, just to sort of bring it together a little bit. So I'm going to do this now. I've got the glaze mixed up here. I just feel that putting a glaze on kind of really makes it a bit more cohesive, brings it together a little bit, warms it up in this case. You want to know more about glazing, I've actually got a video which, if I can work out, I'll put it on the screen here or put a link to it in the description. But it's one of the first videos I made, about the fourth one I made or something like that. And it's called, I think it's called Layering for Beginners Part 3, Glazing, which you can watch. And I tell you all my little tips on glazing. I think I'm going to leave this to dry now, and I think what I might do is actually come in later and then add to this and paint on top of this, because I'm quite sort of fired up now actually. So it's done its job, this little experiment, because it's got me back into painting. I kind of want to continue with this now. Yeah. So I'm going to leave this to dry, and then I'm going to come back into it, and I might post my results of that. I think I now want to put some opaque pink paint on top of that. I somehow feel that would look good. Anyway, I hope this has given you a little bit of encouragement about how to get back into painting if you've had a break. And if you've got any other tips for the rest of us, please do leave them in the comments for us to read. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.